Assalamu alaikum. I hope my voice is clear. My speech, inshallah, will be in English, but definitely I'm open for shifting in Arabic when is needed. I'm a Director of Transport System Technology in RTA, so mainly looking after the technology and transportation system. Today I will be taking you through what we are doing in terms of the future of mobility in Dubai, and what basically the main aim and what are the main pillars that we are doing to make this shift in the transportation system in the city of Dubai. That's why it is actually, as the title tells, how we're going to steer the future to evolve the new modes of transportation like electric vehicles, like autonomous vehicles and other systems. Just to remind everyone, we have a strategy in Dubai that focuses on smart mobility system. This strategy is actually focusing on transforming the trips in Dubai to be used by more intelligent system, more smart system. We call it autonomous system, vehicles with no drivers. And why we are doing this, the main aim is actually to increase the safety level, since according to the international statistics that 92% from the accidents in global, it's due to human error. This is number one, and definitely to have a more efficient, more environmental friendly transportation system. So it's a strategy that already we started in 2016. Definitely the strategy is evolving with the technology evolution, and it's getting more and more mature, since we are doing something that it's really it's a nudge, as we call it. So something that not let's say easily to cop. It's not like building a bridge. It's not like actually providing maybe the normal bus network system. It's something more. That's why it's always definitely coming with its own, let's say, challenges and or changes that it is evolving with the technology evolution. Multimodal strategy, so we are focusing on different transportation modes, not a single mode. Maybe we started in 2009 with the metro. Dubai Metro is considered to be at that time the longest metro network, driverless. Today is carrying more than 500,000 on average on daily basis commuting. And this strategy is actually building on that what we have done. It's introducing and shifting to a new modes by having also other modes that will be contributing to this strategy, like what we call it the robo-taxi or the self-driving taxi or the driverless taxi, which is actually interchangeable terms usually we use. So this strategy, as I mentioned, started in 2016, and with that strategy, definitely we have done different things other than just having the strategy, and also having a number of important projects that will make such a change. We are also trying here to accelerate the maturity of this technology from different point of view. From technology is one, from awareness point of view is a second dimension, from a legislation point of view to make the city ready is also another dimension, and also from definitely the needed infrastructure that will be supporting this, being let's say the road infrastructure, or the what we call it the intelligent transport system infrastructure, which is the technology infrastructure that will be there. So that's why we had part of this strategy introduced number of maybe we can call it transformational projects, like the self-driving taxi service that we're going to talk about it more today, and also like the aerial taxi projects that also maybe you heard about it, that Dubai is aiming to introduce a taxi service that will be using the space above us. We are also definitely going to complement what we have in terms of the transportation network. But one of the challenge actually we identified from early stage, most of the technologies that are evolving are not suitable for this region, meaning that most of the researches that are happening in Europe, happening in US, and happening in other parts of the world that might be more ready for those regions, but not for this region due to the challenges that we do have, due to basically the environmental challenges like the heat, the humidity, maybe also city compared to each other, always you're going to find different, let's say, infrastructure in terms of the road network, different driving pattern. So all these are actually accumulated will make those technologies less ready for this region. So what we have introduced actually, a program that already we started in 2019. We call it Dubai Self-Driving Challenge, and it is an acceleration program that we are aiming to bring companies to compete over here. We provide them with a challenge that they prove that they can deliver this challenge. And also we understand whom are let's say the good player that we can take them to the next level to an implementation. So this is what started in 2019, where we focus on the small shuttle. Then also we started with the next cycle in 2022, where maybe some of you have seen the delivery robots that we already started operating them in some part of the city, like in Dubai Silicon Oasis today with Talabat, for example. In some areas you can see those robots start delivering. You're going to see more of these. So this was also one of them out from this, if I can call it the acceleration program. And also just a few months back, we also had a challenge which is focusing on the buses, the bigger buses that actually commute the people around there. So all these are different programs that the government today, we are putting let's say money and cash that will stimulate the companies to come over here and to test and to make their technology mature. So we can also take them after that to the implementation cycle. And as I mentioned that, one of them, if I can call it, biggest program or project that we are having, our partnership with the General Motors for the cruise service that we are actually looking to launch. The plan is next month that we're going to see actually those vehicles moving people around some areas in the city of Dubai, specifically in Jumeirah 1 area. So this is one of the let's say projects that's linked to this strategy. It's a vision that already we started in 2016 that we are continuing all the way until 2030 to achieve these objectives by having all these let's say projects and let's say programs that will be supporting delivering the strategy. So by doing this, actually, I would like to shed more on the projects that we are doing about the robotaxi, which is the partnership with, as I mentioned, in General Motors, and this is something that already we started in 2021, so 2021, where we have signed an agreement under the leadership and patronage of His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed, the Crown Prince of Dubai, where we are aiming to operate 4,000 robotaxi in the city of Dubai by 2030. And we're going to start by end of this year with a limited number of vehicles, and definitely year by year you're going to see an increase of these vehicles on the city of Dubai. But what we are ensuring, actually, why we are doing this, we will be definitely always make sure that safety is a paramount, that we will not be compromising. So also we have defined a very systematic way to make sure that we are providing a mature service over here. This is number one. And definitely we're gonna do awareness programs where also to make this shift from driver moving people to a vehicle just moving people, and also to manage the customer expectation, to manage the customer requirement, and also to make sure that we have the enough awareness by the customers and trust by the customers to use such service, which definitely will be evolving with a very clear program to make sure that this will happen at the right time. And definitely, on top of this, to provide the experience. What we are aiming actually to do is to provide a different experience, to elevate the current experience, moving the people by using, let's say, the regular way of transportation system, by using the limo service, by using the taxi service, and introducing something totally new that will pave the future for transportation in the city of Dubai. And definitely there are steps that already we follow when we have done this one, and I think a little bit will be going through this detail because this is something that will be happening soon. You're going to see. So I think it's right for public to understand exactly what are the process that really we follow to do this. So when it comes to any, let's say, providing any service like what we are doing over here, which is the cruise service, there are a very systematic way that we make sure. And as I mentioned, the main aim is to have a very safe service, number one. And number two, also to make sure that the service is being provided in a very efficient way for the people, considering also their expectation and as well their needs. So what we are doing already, we are starting a service in Jumeirah 1 area. So this service in particular, we're going to start in an area which is from the Ittihad Museum, where the flag, all the way will be going to the Dubai Canal. So this area where we're gonna actually include the Jumeirah Mosque, the Mercato Mall, and also some other landmarks. So this service will be inaugurated, the plan by December. The people starting early next year, they're gonna be able to register their interest to test this vehicle. There will be very few vehicles at the beginning, so not more than 10 vehicles. So that's why we're going to open also at a point of time. We're going to announce that public people, they can register their interest so they can be a part of it. So this is what we have done. We have actually prepared that area in terms of doing the digital maps that will be used to make sure that those vehicles will be operating in this, we call it the operation domain. And definitely we have been during the past month, maybe some of you already saw those vehicles actually by driver that are just roaming around, and the main aim was to collect data as much as possible about the infrastructure condition, the infrastructure, let's say what we call the road furniture, like the lanes mark, like the zebra lines, like the pavements, also the behavior of the people on this road, like the driver behavior, the pedestrian behavior, the pets that are around. All these things was a learning stage that already we were going from, let's say, Q2 this year up to October time. Starting October, we turn on the autonomy, so now we're going to see a driver that actually is there, but most of the time he's doing just nothing, and the vehicle is actually testing, and the main aim is actually to be ready to launch a service by end of this year. So while doing this, definitely we are, as I mentioned, focusing on the safety on different aspects. So the vehicle safety itself, so this is one of the most important thing, making sure that the vehicle will be able to navigate and to move around the city in a very safe way. The road traffic safety, to make sure that, and this is something is definitely to aim to increase the safety measurement on the road infrastructure, to make sure that such operation will happen in very smooth and safe way. And definitely the driver safety, because we're going to start for the first 6 months with specialized drivers, highly skilled, that they know how to deal with this vehicle, almost doing nothing, but just to make sure that it is the vehicle is safe and the people are confident actually with having this. And just to remind everyone, for the people that they use the metro in 2009, maybe for the first 6 months we had someone usually stopping on the first cabin, doing nothing actually, just was for the people comfort, but the people, they usually see this as an operator that he can control the train. But in fact, he or she were doing nothing just for the people, basically, comfort and awareness. And definitely for this to make and to operate in the city over here, we made sure that we change the legislations and the laws that are requirement, and also to put the necessary controls to make sure that, again, we are having a service that it is safe, governed, and it is actually monitored by a regulator like RTA Dubai here. And definitely for this, we had already specialized companies that they are working with us, that are reviewing the safety of this service. They are reviewing the legislation that are required actually to make such operation soon in the city over here. And we believe that this is one of the, if I can call it, the biggest transformational transportation project for the Dubai, maybe post metro, doing something totally new. It's still used to be, and it's still the first government with a private partnership to deliver this service. You definitely heard about the cruise running in San Francisco, and maybe the latest in news, you hear basically, I'm sure, about Waymo and Google that operating, but bringing the government as a regulator with the company, and to make sure that we have a consistent and a safe service. I think this is one of the main aim that we are want to do over here in the city. And definitely for delivering this, we are working with many partners over here, definitely Dubai Police, and also the entities that are looking after the safety and security of this system, and definitely the other, let's say, entities that are supporting us to make sure that, as I said, both the digital and physical infrastructure is ready for such service. The service, once we launch, will be a hailing service. So it's like Careem and Uber. You're going to have an application that you will be using to call this vehicle, and you're going to have definitely a very limited interaction with the vehicle, because anyway you will be defining your origin and destinations, and you get all your trip information. The maximum thing that you will do once you get the vehicle, you're going to unlock the door by the application, and you just press a start button, and then your journey will start. So this is in a nutshell that we are doing. So 2023, end of this year, we're going to, as I said, launch this service. We're going to have safety driver on board for the next 6 months, maximum 9 months. And then you're going to see this vehicle. This is the new generation of the vehicle, where literally there is no steering wheel. So it is a vehicle that it is designed to operate with no driver, and this is what we are aiming to achieve by before end of 2024. So this is in a nutshell what we basically wanted to deliver today. And just also, since I mentioned at the beginning that we have 2 main projects that is delivering the smart transportation strategy of this of Dubai, which is the robotaxi with the cruise, and also we are having another project that was inaugurated this year by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, Prime Minister of UAE and the ruler of Dubai, which aims in operating also an aerial taxi service by beginning 2026, as a partnership that already we started with 2 companies that will be building stations and also providing the actual vehicle to make sure that this service will be delivered as was approved by His Highness in less than 3 years from now. So this was just a quick shedding on what we are doing in terms of the future, and how AI and how we are shaping the future of transportation system in the city of Dubai. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and more than welcome to take any questions. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I have two questions, quick ones. So is Robotaxi gonna replace Kareem and Uber? That's the first one. And the second one, technology can go wrong. So what if I bump to this car? So I'll be always in charge of what happened, or is any legislation regarding this?
Good question. So answering, I mean, the first question was whether they're going to replace any existing service. No. So this we're going to complement what we have today, including the normal taxi we'll continue to have, and also the limo, because as I mentioned, we're going to have 4,000 of these vehicles at maximum. So definitely this will be complementary to the existing modes. When it comes to the liability, this is something that we're finalizing with Dubai Police. Where we will be actually updating the existing, let's say, incident management and accident management response, where we will be defining, we're going to have two stages. Stage number one, when the driver is there, the safety driver is there, then it will be dealt like the normal vehicle. So there is no problem with this one. When there is no driver, definitely we're going to use all these camera systems that are there to understand what did happen, and definitely the liability will not go on any driver because there is no driver in case of the robotaxi fault, but it will be going to the company itself. So this is the change that we are doing in terms of the policies, the insurance policies and the legislations that already started actually, and in the final stages of approval. Please, Mr. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for your excellent presentations. I have specific questions in my mind because your government and you have a plan to replacing 25% with automations, like autonomous vehicles with robotaxi and everything. So how you help or measure the traditional taxi driver or traditional drivers, those who involve with this transport system? So when the AI replacing them, so how you help or create CSR for this driver, or what is the alternative you are creating for your drivers, those who traditionally involve with this ecosystem?
So if I heard your question correctly, you are talking about what will happen with the existing driver, right?
Exactly.
Okay, got it. So I think this is also goes back to what I mentioned answering the first question. So usually, why we defined like 4,000 taxi? Why we didn't define, let's say, 20,000 taxi? Because today we do have, let's say, the limousine service and taxi service is more than close to 20,000 actually. What we have done at this stage until 2023, we build on the normal growth that the city will have. So we forecasted that we need to have such a number of vehicles to be injected to support the existing people needs in the coming 6 to 7 years. So that's why this service will not be cannibalizing any existing service. So still, the driver will be there. Basically in existing this one. Now, what will happen beyond 2030? This is definitely another plan in case, for example, we're going to inject more and more vehicles and which will be cannibalizing an existing service. But until 2030, going to complement, it will not going to replace anything.
Excellent. I have another questions, like when you replacing AI from human, so how you collecting data for your research and for your innovations, and how you actually monetize this data for your betterment of the ecosystem? So this is another part of this research.
So the current, this is very important question actually. So while I was maybe describing the different stages of the project, the very early stage is actually gathering data, where I mentioned that the vehicles are just moving around, being driven by a normal driver, and the main aim was to collect this data. Now, this data is aimed to actually to do the machine learning, to make the AI more, let's say, to make the AI more understanding the existing, let's say, environment of Dubai. So this will not be a public data, okay? So nothing will be monetized over here because it's more about behavioral data, it's more about infrastructure needs. And maybe I will give you a few examples because those vehicles were already operating in San Francisco for many years and always, let's say, goes under development and enhancements. The infrastructure of Dubai, as you know, is considered one of the best in terms of the quality, but still they are the part of learning, that things that we do have, you will not find in other city. And one of the things is humps, okay? So maybe rarely you will see humps in other part of world maybe. When we are actually doing, and this is real, when we are actually doing this the collection, so definitely this goes in two stages. Stage where the vehicle, while we are doing the mapping, we define on this digital map that there is a hump over here, so you need to slow down. And also a stage where a vehicle, in all cases, have a vision, computer vision, by using the camera in terms of seeing what is in front of it. So even with the humps, we found it out that we do have different standard of humps. So we have a small humps, we have a more smooth hump, and we have a medium one, and the vehicle could not understand because usually it's supposed to interact in one way. We as a normal people, we do understand that this is a small, you have to be more slowed down, and there is one more which is more smooth. You can still drive 10, 20 kilometers, no problem. But while we are doing this machine learning, we did understand that even this level of detail need to be taught to the AI to understand how to deal with even different type of humps. And maybe in the future, for example, we also revise these standards for the city that to consider, let's say, those needs, the operation needs of AI and robotaxi. So it's more about machine learning, and this will continue definitely because even during the operation, this will never stop. So always there is something new. So while even during the operation, still there will be evolution for this ecosystem as a whole.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. This is Abdelaziz, ITS specialist. Regarding ITS systems and smart transportation, or let's say...
I'm not able to hear if...
This is Abdelaziz, ITS specialist. Regarding the smart transportation and smart mobility in smart cities, we want to go to safe cities level, means especially in the school transportation buses. What you are thinking in the future, how we can control our student and we will go for safe transportation, especially in the school bus transportation.
So your question is about the school bus and how we make
school
sure
bus in the future, not now. Now we install 14 IoT devices in the school buses.
Right.
But what's your vision or what's your strategy regarding school buses in the future?
Sure. I will try to answer your question, and please let me know if this was a good answer. So already we started, what we have done in here specifically about school buses, and this is nothing to do with autonomous system. We are talking about what actually currently we are doing. We have defined the standards for all the operators. We have close to 300 different operators. Usually you see the big ones like STS, maybe Emirates Transport, Dubai Taxi, but also there are smaller ones where already we defined, as you rightly mentioned, the ITS and the IoT system that will be there in this bus. And we have defined a minimum level of a standard where we make sure that those buses will be safe for our kids, for the students. And practically what I'm meaning by this, to have, for example, the camera systems, to have a motion detection system that we make sure that no one will be left behind in the bus, and definitely firefighting and other systems. So I think 8 or 10 different specifications that are there. And this is something that already we have covered up to good extent, around 44-45%, and it's a standard that being implemented. I think in next 1 year we're going to see all the operators are there. And also what we are doing by next year, We're going to have a parent application where we make sure that we have a full visibility on the student travel, starting their commuting, all the way about basically tracking them and to understand that he reached safely into the school. So this is something that we're going to also launch it, part of a plan before end of next year.
What about route optimization?
About?
Route optimization.
Sorry, I couldn't hear.
Route optimization.
Route optimization, yes. See, route optimization for the school buses, this is what you are saying. I'm not the right person to answer this, but what we are doing in terms of the policy, we are defining with our, we have a planning department over here. They are putting standards on, let's say, the pickup and the drop-off for the students when it comes to each and every zone. So, for example, if you are having, let's say, your kids the school in Al Barsha, then we are making sure that the pickup points will not exceed certain amount of minutes. I think 50 minutes, if I'm not wrong. And also to define the number of pickup points to make sure that they are not prolonged, they don't have prolonged trips. So there are certain standards that also definitely will be translated into automation. We're gonna do the necessary governance and automation of these let's say policies into using the ITS system to make sure that it is happening in the right way.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Actually, I thank you for this outstanding presentation, which covers almost all the major aspects concerning the main topic. In the eve of this digital transformation, actually, it comes to everybody's mind is the cyber security issue. How do you tackle such a problem, and how do you, what do you say, evaluate and assess the risk coming from this autonomous vehicle or from this technology? Actually, especially we are talking now about smart city. We are talking about smart city. We are talking about also the fifth industrial revolution, artificial intelligence, and so on.
I'm trying to get the slide back just to answer this.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So and also, do you know this transformation will make the life much more easier, and we will not face any traffic, for example, because I mean, we will benefit from it, at least from this side. This is what we almost every day we are suffering from this one. Thanks.
Correct, yeah. So I think you mentioned about a very important aspect. What about the cyber security and how we are ensuring this? Definitely we are working with the other entities to ensure this one. We have 3 main entities, actually 4 main entities that are responsible of this. Dubai Police is playing a role, but we have 3 specialized entities over here in UAE and in Dubai that looks after this one. Telecommunication Regulatory Authority, TEDRA, is the main one. We have SIRA, and we have DISC, Dubai Information Security Center. So they define the standard for us. We are working very closely with them in such projects, and actually in different ITS projects, but since we are talking about this project, then also we have work, and they have defined for us what are the standards that we need to follow, making sure that the technology will be safe. There are the necessary controls. There are the necessary oversee by those authorities into these technologies, into what's going on, and in case of, for example, anything that need to be provided or shared with them, they have the right also to access such data.
Excuse me, now, say if this will be fully automated, then we will be talking about the what you call the artificial intelligence, for example, because mainly it based on this technology, right? And this technology, the artificial intelligence, based on the data, all right? Now, system as the whole system, we will say, okay, this is more secure. Is there any what you call a breaching will come to this one, because the consequences will be disaster, for example. And do you have any let's see benchmark, any other, well, I mean, the best practice people, they are doing the same thing and they are not facing any problem with the
Yeah,
security?
definitely. Actually, all these technologies and the companies where they are developing their, if I can call it, their software stack, which is the AI and all these things, they follow international standards when it comes to the design to make sure that those are safe and those are and they follow certain criteria to make sure that they are meeting those standards. And this is something that we, as a regulator, definitely we go and assure that this did happen with any partner, including the partner that we mentioned, Cruise. So this is on first level, the standard. And the second level is basically the governance, which I talk about that will happen. So we believe that looking into the standards that they follow, and also having the right governance and visibility by the entities that we do have over here, that this is their business to make sure that it is running and safe, will basically achieve that level of confidence and safety that we are looking for. Great. Any more questions? Fine, I think we are done. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.